So first of all, when it comes to it being human nature, I think what it really is, what it boils down to for a lot of people is fear of failure.
Say house the fam.
Overflow.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to House the Fam. Okay, your podcast about family, friends, and growth. And today I'm joined by my best friend, the guy I selected to be my best man in my wedding, y'all. It's my brother Jerry Woods. Jerry, welcome to the show.
You know what's going on, T Breezy?
Bro, man, life's good, man. Life's good. I'm glad you spent some time out your busy day to be with us, bro. 'Cause I was a little worried you might not be able to make it. But you know
Yeah,
what?
no problem, man.
Introduce yourself to the people so they know who you are, and then we'll go ahead and get into it, bro.
All right, well, people, I am Jerry. I'm Tyler's best friend. A little bit about me: I am an engineer for a Fortune 500 company. I do a lot of self-development things. Have a lot of hobbies, including um, photography, uh, working out, just working out, things like that. Just anything that I deem that helpful to myself, I consider it a hobby. So that's one thing about me, and I'm ready to hop right into it.
All right, bro. Well, like Jerry said, today we're talking self development. But before we get into it, we have a segment called Just Checking In. Now, Jerry, just checking in is exactly what it sounds like. It's us checking in with the people, letting them know everything is good or everything ain't so good. All right. I will start it out and then I'm going to let you go. Cool?
Yep, sounds good,
All
man.
right. Cool. So, my just checking in story is I went to a wedding this weekend, y'all. And that wedding was on a Sunday. And I got to admit, I think Saturday is the undefeated day when it comes to weddings. Like any Saturday wedding, I can more than likely be there. Now these Thursday, Friday, and Sunday weddings, y'all testing your boy, man. Like I love you and I love your matrimony. I truly do. I want you to enjoy your happily ever after. But if it's not on a Saturday, from here on, don't expect me to be there. All right. Send me the invite, and I will let you know if I will be there or not. And it ain't no guarantee if it's not on a Saturday. But my cousin got married. It was a beautiful wedding. Like it was awesome. Like the ceremony itself was beautiful. Like her dress was incredible. She had three of them. All three of her dresses was banging. The food was good. The cake was the cake was cake. The cake was cool, you know. And then the DJ did his thing. Although the DJ, you know how them DJs don't like let the whole song play every once in a while. They'll let the part play. That's like yeah, and then I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like sometimes you want to hear the whole song. Sometimes you just want to hear a snippet. And it felt like he didn't know which one of those songs people like. But all the same, it was a great time. It was an incredible wedding. It's just that it was on a Sunday. Next time, make sure. Actually, hopefully there ain't no next time. We'll just leave it at that. Now, Jay,
Hopefully it's
man.
one and done, bro.
Right, this is it. It's like one and it's a wrap. But yo, Jay, we just checking in, bro. Like, how's everything been?
Man, everything's good, man. This week I'm actually on vacation, so just cooling it, not going anywhere, not going out of town, not going back home for Christmas and anything like that. But
Gotcha.
I did go to the chiropractor today, so
Oh,
that will be my one thing that I did today. My one accomplishment for the day that I gave myself. I went. Been having issues. My neck and back a little stiff, but went there. She cracked me up a little bit. Now we're on a good road to recovery, you could say, or
yeah,
getting back
yeah.
to my old self. Yeah, yeah, that's it for me, man.
Bro, I don't think I've ever been to a chiropractor. I don't even know where I would find one if I needed one. How'd you know you even needed one?
Bro, in Texas, uh, really, man, it was just like stiffness everywhere, man. I was just like, something needs to be popped. I don't know how to pop it. I need to go to a professional.
Yeah.
So really, they're all over Dallas, man. Dallas, Texas, you know, there are a lot more here than there were in Mississippi. Like, I don't
Mm.
know, where you are, well,
I live in the
how many there are.
sticks.
Yeah, yeah, man. But where I am, man, like you can't even go a block without seeing like a chiropractor's office. So they're
That's
everywhere,
interesting.
man.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. All right. Well, we're about to get into the meat and potatoes of everything, but before we get into all this self improvement and like your methodology and your systems of self improvement, I have one ad, and that ad is Pray, Plan, Execute, y'all. Pray, Plan, Execute is a faith based athleisure brand. What does that mean? That means we believe in God and we wear dope, very comfortable clothes. Okay, it was a brand made for people like me, people like Jerry, people who understand that their purpose is their purpose, and the only way to achieve that purpose is to, number one, believe in God, and then number two, you got to have a plan and go out there and make it happen. Okay, now if you're one of these true blood washed believers, and if you're somebody who has some stuff going on that you need to accomplish, we have a code for you. Okay, we want you to rock the shirt, and that code, we want you to go to prayplanexecute.shop. Again, that is prayplanexecute.shop, and I want you guys to pick out what you like and enter code FAM at checkout. Again, that is FAM, FAM at checkout. Y'all, again, we've been doing this for a long time. All right? Homeboy is running out of inventory, which, number one, thank y'all. It's very impressive that you guys were able to do that. But if you want a shirt in your size, you need to hop on it immediately. Pause the video, go to prayplanexecute.shop, use code FAM and check out. All right, y'all, Pray, Plan, Execute. It's more than a brand, it's a lifestyle. Now, Jay, you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, man.
Yeah, meat and potatoes, bro. Honestly, my opening question really is like, what made you so into personal improvement or self-improvement in the first place?
Man, for me, honestly, it really started back maybe when we were in high school, and you know, I felt uh, I was really insecure about how I looked initially, right? I felt like, intelligence wise, I was pretty up there, but the way I looked, I just did not like it. You know what I'm saying? I was super skinny guy. I had like, bad skin. Of course, like, some kids have bad skin growing up.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it, crooked smile, all of that stuff, man. So once I first got my braces and started seeing improvement there, I got hooked on, getting better each day because I could have just let it go and just stayed where I was, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So what I did was I started seeing it as a game, like a game where you level up. You take your character and you're at level one, and then you do some achievements, you're at level two, and
Yeah.
so forth, and then so on. And so that's how I look at it's just self improvement, as if it's like literally a game of life.
Got you. Got you. Got you. You know, it's funny. There's a guy, he said, he calls that Mario mentality. And it's like, when you play Mario, every time you get to the end, it's like, I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level. It's all, when you say it felt like I gamified it, and every time I did it, I was on another level. That's all I could think.
Yeah.
So you've been doing self-improvement for a long time. You say you gamified it to an extent. So my question is this a game that actually ends, or is this a game that's like in perpetuity?
This game never ends. Literally, I
So what's your
all
motivation to keep going in a game that never ends?
my motivation is just to not stay stagnant, man. I feel like life gets extremely boring once you don't have anything to do. It gets repetitive if you just the only thing you want to do is wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, watch TV. It just feels like you're really in like a matrix, right? I don't want
Yeah.
that for myself, and I don't want that for anybody who's listening to this. Like, go out and do things that you either enjoy or anything that you want to learn about.
Yeah.
There are so many avenues to self improvement that you should literally never ever run out of like opportunities to learn and grow.
That's good, man. That's good. So, all right, again, you've been on this journey for a while. You've been learning. I mean, we were in what you said high school, but I want to say since we was in like ninth grade. Our ninth grade wasn't connected to the high school, so technically, a
Right.
lot of people hear that and it's like, oh, that is high school, but we wasn't connected to the high school. But what are three of the best tips that you've learned while you've been on your self improvement journey?
Man, three of the best tips would be, I guess tip number one would be patient with yourself. Um, a lot of people see self improvement as this thing that they just have to do all at once, right?
Yeah.
Um, just like people who want to lose weight, they see the bigger goal, like I need to lose 50 pounds instead of, okay, this week I want to lose a pound. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't happen, I'll do better next week. Instead of beating yourself up for not reaching your goals, just make sure you're in the mindset of continue, keep going, don't stop. And, eventually just by having that mindset, you'll go far, right? A lot of people will criticize you, tell you things like, oh, you've been trying at it for this long and you're not making it, but don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are, you know what you're accomplishing. You see your little tiny victories and you take those and you really appreciate those.
That's
So
good.
number one would be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Number two would be set realistic goals, right? So um, say in your mind, you say, okay, eventually I want to have a luxury vehicle, right?
Okay.
That's one way that I want to improve my self image. Instead of saying I want that vehicle, say, okay, what do I need to do to get this vehicle?
Hmm.
Go research. How much does this vehicle cost? Okay, if this vehicle costs this much, then how long will it take me to save if I have an appropriate budget? How long will it save me to get in the range where I can start making down payments on this car, right? Don't just have arbitrary goals where you just say, I want this, and then you never figure out how to actually get it. You just say you want it. That's not going to do anything. You actually have to put in the work to actually, get what you want to achieve, right?
Real talk.
So that would be number two. And number three would be stay consistent. Consistency in anything is going to just yield results. Um, it's very hard for you to be consistent at something and not see anything ever happen. You know what I'm saying? Even if
Yeah.
those results, or even if what you're trying to achieve is monumental. I was actually reading Will Smith's new book the other day, and he was talking about how he was trying to build this wall for his dad. And he tells this story all the time whenever he has interviews and things like that. He was talking about building this wall, and he was like, "Man, I'm never gonna build this wall. I'm young. I don't have like the tools that other like construction workers and things like that have to build this wall." But his dad told him, "Don't worry about the wall. You're thinking about too much stuff. You want to be consistent. You want to build this brick every day. Lay this brick as best as a brick can be laid. You know what I'm saying? And do that over and over again. And eventually, over time, you will have that wall." And
Hmm.
so, like, to me, the moral of that story was be consistent. Every single day, show up, lay that brick. One day, you'll have a wall before you know it.
Yeah.
So, those are my three points.
Yo. Yo, he said, for those who can't remember all the way, he said, be patient, make sure you have a plan, and then you guys got to be consistent. Yo, Jerry, that's an incredible list, man. Incredible list. I wanted to ask, again, great list. How do you find the areas where you need to improve? And the
How
reason
do I
I
find the
ask is
areas I
because
need to
some
improve?
people will say you need to look at your weaknesses and you need to work on your weaknesses. And other people will
Mm-hmm.
say you need to identify your strengths and then make them as sharp as you can to where your weaknesses don't even matter. So the question
Mm-hmm.
is, how do you find, how do you find the advice, or where do you find your advice for self improvement?
Where do I find my advice? To be honest with you, man, a lot of it comes from trials and error, and a lot of it comes from failure. Failure is our like best teacher. So for me, I know that in order for me to kind of like go forward and with self development, I need to go out there and do whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So let's say one of those things for me would be um, trying to, get physically fit. All right. I would go to the gym and I would just work out as much as I can. And then I would say, okay, I'm not seeing the improvement that I want to see
Mm.
in these areas,
Yeah.
right? And at that point, I have a reference point to something that I'm trying to improve. Now I can go and research it. You can't just research like, okay, lifting weights. Sure, you're going to get a whole lot of results back.
Yeah.
But after you actually put in the trial and error, you say, okay, my arms aren't growing. I go Google, YouTube, any of those things have like unlimited sources, right? I say, okay, instead of saying how to, just get bigger, how do I, improve like arm size, or what do I need to do to improve this part of my body and look more aesthetically pleasing, right?
Yeah.
Narrow those things down instead of having a broad view of things, and that way it'll come a lot easier to you.
That's great, man. So you also talked about filtering the results of the good advice and the bad advice. Trial and error, it's cool. It's cool. But what are other ways that you use to filter the advice from the good advice from the bad advice?
Comparison. So don't just take one or two pieces of advice and say, okay, this is what it is. A lot of people say they'll hear something from one person, right? Even if it's like a
Yeah.
doctor. I've heard certain doctors say things, even like certain dentists. Say, matter of fact, we were having this conversation one day about a tongue scraper, right? And you said that you
Yeah.
found somebody and they told you stainless steel tongue scrapers aren't good because they do something in your taste buds. I
Yeah.
actually I think earlier today, I saw another video where a dentist was like, stainless steel tongue scrapers are preferred, right?
Yeah.
You should use those.
Mm-hmm.
And these are both dentists, but it just depends on where you heard that information from. So if you know that there's contradictory information out there, go find more than two sources. Go find five, go find 10 of all like, you know, professional sources and see which ones are the most common. And that's how I would say, like, how do you navigate that avenue, right? Just going and finding more than just one or two sources.
That was wild. I went to my dentist. Like I had a dentist appointment, like beginning of December, something like that, right? And like I actually
Yeah.
asked her about it. I was like, "Yo, man, like, am I supposed to do stainless steel or like the little Oral B joints?" And so my hygienist, the person who actually worked in my mouth, she was like, "Yo, you need to do the Oral B
Mm-hmm.
joint." But the dentist was
Mm-hmm.
like, I asked my dentist, right? Because the dentist
Yeah.
checks the hygienist, and the dentist was like, "No, you need to do stainless steel." And they had like a
Mm-hmm.
back and forth about it, and it was just like, well, number one, both of them made great points because
Yeah.
she was like, you need to do stainless steel because you could disinfect stainless steel a lot easier than you could disinfect the
Mm-hmm.
plastic joints, right? And then my hygienist
Mm-hmm.
was like, well, you need a well, it was a good back and forth, and you are 100% accurate. You are 100%
Yeah.
accurate because if you just listen to their conversation just between the two of them, I would have never made a decision.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You need multiple sources, man. Multiple.
yeah. And so another thing people tend to do in their self improvement journey, and like here's the thing, I keep saying people, I am people too. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a
Yeah.
high horse acting high and mighty, neither is Jerry. All right, we
Yeah.
over here just trying to share with y'all the best that we can. But another thing that I've dealt with personally, I know people deal with is analysis paralysis. And so you'll sit here, you'll learn all this information, a tremendous amount of information, and then you just like literally just sit on it and you won't actually put it into action. How do you
Yeah.
avoid the analysis paralysis? I don't know if it's a trap or if it's human nature. How do you avoid it?
Um. So first of all, when it comes to it being human nature, I think what it really is, what it boils down to for a lot of people is fear of failure.
Mm,
A lot of people can understand that failure is actually good for us. Failure is an amazing tool for humans, but we don't want to feel it. We hate feeling that feeling of not being able to achieve something. So that's why I think we actually have analysis paralysis. How
mm,
to avoid it, though? One thing that I've learned to do, or learned in general, is that we are at like a constant war with our own minds, right? I do this all the time, man. All the time, I'll wake up and my brain telling me, bro, it's 5 in the morning. Like you can just go to the gym later, bro. Like do not do it. But and it sounds like you, right? This it's like, oh yeah, this is me. I know that this is true. That's not you, man. That is not you talking. That is something else. That is a deeper part of you that doesn't want you to succeed. You have to understand, like, oh, that's not me. And then you have to go back and forth with yourself. It sounds crazy, but you have to tell yourself, hey, no, I'm not waiting till 4. I'm not waiting till I get off work. I'm not waiting on none of that. I am about to go and I'm about to go to this gym because I know it's something that I don't want to do. Therefore, it means that I need to do it. I listen to a lot of David Goggins, and he says he does at least one thing every day that he just does not want to do. And that's how he trains his mind to get out of that comfort zone, to get out
That's
of
nice.
that comfortability.
Yeah.
So I do that. I recognize that what I'm telling myself when I'm telling myself to go back to bed, that is me staying in my comfort zone. I don't need to be there. I fight it. Sometimes it's a longer fight. Sometimes it's a 30-minute fight. But I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go. Right.
Yeah, I
So,
feel you. I feel you.
uh, yeah, man.
That's good, man. That's good. Let's see. We're almost out of time, but did you want to talk about your dating life and dating in 2022?
Oh man, we can, man. What questions you got?
All right, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, all right, Jerry's out there. All right, he's a single guy. He's a single guy. He's an engineer. He's well paid, no kids, all this other stuff. So he in terms of the dating food chain, you were like, I would assume high on the scale. All right. So the question is, what is dating in 2022, or what are you expecting dating in 2022 to look like for a person of your stature?
Uh, for me personally, I'm actually seeing somebody right now. So I was dating for a while in 2021. Actually, I went through a period of time where I wasn't because I had just gotten out of a relationship, started dating again, but it's rough out here. All right, 2021, 2022. It's getting rougher, especially with this
What's so
dynamic
rough
of.
about it? I don't. People
So
will say it's rough. I'm like, yo, what's so rough about it?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what's rough about it. Right now, it feels like everywhere you look, there's this war, like between men and women. You have like your Kevin Samuels and things like that who like preach about how value men. Then you got women who preach about like men not doing anything. I don't want to be a part of either one of those worlds. I just want somebody to connect with, right? But it's so prevalent. It's just as prevalent as people picking up their phones using social media nowadays, especially in the dating world. That it's like this is what we want to talk about. We want to talk about men's roles. We want to talk about women's roles. We want to talk about all this other stuff, right? So that makes it a little tough. Also, people are weird. People are really weird. You would never assume that like so many people are so weird. I don't want to call everybody weird, but there's some dating things. There's some dating stories out there. But yeah, for me, man, I'm trying to go ahead and chill out with one person. I'm not the type to be dating around too many, for too long. Also, I did it before, crazy expensive as a man. Crazy expensive.
What you
All
mean?
right. If you go on, like, if you're actually dating and not doing whatever it is that Netflix and chill stuff, you are spending money. Like, if you go on 4 dates in a week, that's either 4 restaurants, for like movies, or you're going go karting, you're going mini golf.
Mini golf.
It adds up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Dating actually adds up, man. So dating multiple women is a no go for me anymore, man. I used to have like an actual dating budget per week, and I'm not into it no more, man.
That seems like a logical thing to do, or you would have a dating budget. But here's the thing, though: even when you're married, the dating doesn't stop. So it's not like
No,
it's not like it's
but it's
gonna
one
disappear.
person.
Yeah,
It's one
but
person though.
all right, so let's have this conversation then, right? So is it more difficult to date to be with one person exclusively for an extended amount of time, or is it more difficult to be with multiple people in a short amount of time? What do you
It's
think?
more difficult. It's more difficult to be with multiple people, right? So
I
you
I, I
have you
disagree,
gotta
but I'm gonna hear you out.
okay. So the benefits of dating one person is you have stability. You're not worried about, okay, am I going to be able to make this person, a future spouse, or is this going to be something that lasts? Am I spending my money for nothing, right? And on top of that, dating multiple people, you usually have to go out multiple times per week and have multiple dates. And I know, like you actually have date night, right?
Yeah, we do.
One night a week, right? One to
It
two
is
nights
one
a
night
week,
a
right?
week. I'm not gonna even.
Right,
I'm not gonna act like it's not. It's one night a week. Yes.
right. One night a week. I can do one night a week steadily with one person, right? But doing 3 to 4, maybe you have some weeks where you're not dating, but still, them 3 to 4, they add up in that week, bro. Real fast, real fast.
Is that your whole
I want to know
argument?
your reasoning.
Is
Not
that
the
your
whole
whole
thing, but I want to
argument?
give you a chance for. I want to give you a chance for
I was
rebuttal.
gonna get. I was gonna let you
Go ahead.
air it all out. That's the whole argument though?
That's what I got right now, right? But
Okay.
if you bring up some points, I might have some counter arguments to it.
All right, I see what you're doing. All right, so I would say it's more difficult to be with one person exclusively for an extended amount of time. And the reason I say that is not because of the financial piece of it. You're right. If I were to date Keisha 4 different days in a week, financially, yes, that is crippling. Like that's pretty up there. Because like you said, dating costs money. Dating is expensive. Don't get it twisted. It really is. And so I agree with you in that the cost of it will be ridiculous. Now, where I disagree with you is the difficulty. Because the thing is, when you're meeting different people and you're having all these different conversations, you can literally, you don't have to think of anything new. You don't have to dive super deep into who you are or into who they are. Because like the intimacy level is just different, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
even though you're dating like maybe 4 different people once a week, the intimacy level is just different, right? And the thing is, I can keep presenting the same me, but I have to dive a deeper every single time we go on that date, right? And not only do I have to dive deeper, there's like, let's keep it a buck, man. There's still temptation too, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're actually able to accept, like, yeah, I'll go on a date with this other person. I will refuse to do that. Like, there's not a chance in the world that I could do that. Now, do other women look good? Like, there's no denying other women look good, but it's like I am committed to one person. So, like, the simple fact that the temptation exists, and then you have to be very like intimate level of almost oneness with your spouse, right? And then it's almost like you have to turn the entire world off when you go on to this date night, because the date you, while it's the same you that your wife sees all the time, like date you needs to be a version of you to where you can literally have intimacy. And when I keep saying intimacy, I'm not talking like sex. I'm literally talking like being vulnerable, right? Like almost like being naked, not physically naked, but like being
Yeah.
like emotionally naked to a person to where you should be able to share anything and they can share anything. And in a perfect world, this stuff wouldn't come back up to like bite you in the butt or anything, right? But yeah, that's why I would consider dating one person more difficult than dating multiple people I date Keisha once a week, and like you were dating multiple people. That's why I would say what I do is more difficult than what you did.
Yeah, I get it. And you and Keisha have been together for a long time. So I would say that it's a creativity thing. Like you just have to keep it creative. But
Yeah,
y'all have been dating for a really long time. Even
14
me though,
years.
like yeah. So for me, I like the way that I date, even when I was in a semi long term relationship, um, like
Semi long term.
semi long term, bro. That's what we going with. But so for me, like I kept it fresh, man. Like I did date nights every weekend, maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah,
Um, but I would just go online and be like, yo, A, what's there to do in Dallas? B,
that's
like
it.
like I would use my creativity, or if I didn't want to be creative, I go and see what other people thought were nice and considerate or intimate dates, and just recreate that, man. And like I thought that was a lot easier because dating multiple people is always like a hassle, and
Yeah,
you have to remember who these people are. Hey, like
that's why I thought you were gonna
at
say
one
why it's
point,
difficult.
that by itself is kind of hard. 'Cause at one point, I found myself dating 8, 9 people at the same time, and I was just like, "Oh, she told me about her parents, or was that her?" And I was like, "Dang, now I got the stories mixed up." I was done. I was like,
I will
"This is
say
not for me. This was never like for me."
that's what I was
Go ahead.
expecting you to say. It's like, yo, it's like if you, when you
Yeah,
call Tracy Trina and Trina Tracy, it's like it
yeah,
gets a little
yeah,
ugly, you know. That's what I was expecting you to
yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
And for that, I have no
Yeah,
rebuttal.
it can happen. It can happen. It can happen. It. There's a lot of things, man. But yeah, for sure, man. That is whew, I hope to be out of the dating game in 2022. To be honest with you, bro.
So, all right, just to let, all right, and just in general, well, this will probably be my last question. So, what would it take for you to
Okay.
be like, you know, this person is the person that I'm gonna settle down and spend the rest of my life with? What would it take? For what would it take on her part?
Um.
Or I guess even on your part, right?
So yeah. So for me, um, I would have to like feel a certain level of comfortability with that person, and also I would need to see potential and love from that person. So I've been in relationships where I had a woman who was extremely ambitious, but I could tell that she didn't really love me like I felt like I needed to be loved. And then on the flip side of that, I've had a relationship where she loved me to death, but didn't have a whole lot of ambition. I want somewhere where there's both, right? There's ambition and there's love. Like I want somebody to come home, love me, but also want to do their own thing, want to grow and have self development of their own, right? They don't want to just say, "Oh, you want to do self development? I'm just gonna like co-ride that from you." No, I want you to have your own thing, right? And I need that like mixture before I can say, okay, this is who I want to be with because this person is whole by themselves. I'm whole by myself. We can be whole together, and that's what I'm looking for. So
You
when
looking
I
for a
find that, man, I
compliment?
think I'm gonna go ahead and compliment somebody that
Yeah,
compliments me. Yeah,
yeah. You looking for somebody to
yeah,
compliment you? Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
cut you off. What were you
And
about to
at that
say?
point, man, no, I was just about to say at that point we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to figure out this best man situation, man. Got to couple
Who's
y'all
it gonna
partners,
be,
man.
bro?
I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna do what you did and have multiple.
Yeah,
To be honest,
I had two best men. I
see
had
how
to,
many I
bro.
can
And
have.
you know, I told Travis, I was like,
Yeah,
Travis, Jerry can't not be my best man, and you can't not be
yeah,
my best man either. He's like, I get it. I
yeah,
was like, cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna figure it out, man. But hopefully, it's not something immediate right
FYI,
now. So
it's no hard feelings any way that you decide to do it. Just a FYI, it's no hard feelings one way or
I'm
the
not gonna
other.
lie. I feel like I feel like you. If I have multiple, I'm definitely gonna try to have multiple. You're gonna be at least one of them. I just got to figure out who the other one's gonna be. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know
Hey,
actually.
that's a
Cause I've been
decision for
I've been the
another
best man
day.
in multiple weddings. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
you have.
Yeah,
You've been the best man in like 2 weddings, right?
yeah,
So, all
yep,
right, yeah. Like I say, it's a decision for another day. You got it, bro. I believe in you. Now,
yeah,
I will say, is there
yeah,
before we
man.
get to words of encouragement, is there anything that you would like to clarify? Anything you would like? Any point where I cut you off? Anything where you think you need to just add a little more to it?
No, I think we discussed everything, and I said everything I needed to say. So I think it's good.
There you go, bro. There you go. All right, now we've gotten to the point in the episode where we're about to get into words of encouragement. Now, Jerry, words of encouragement is exactly what it sounds like. All right, it's us pouring into the
Hmm.
people. Literally, it's like the best advice you can give to your younger self. Right now, I'm gonna go
Hmm.
ahead. I'm gonna do some cleaning up, and now I'll do my words of encouragement, and then I'm gonna give you the opportunity to do yours, and then the episode's over. Cool.
Yep, sounds good, bro.
All right, man. Now, you guys, I'm talking to you. Now, if you made it this far into the video, number one, wholeheartedly, like with the deepest appreciation that I have, number one, thank you. All right, thank you wholeheartedly, because everybody don't make it to this point of the video, okay? Now, thank you very much. And I have a few things I'm going to ask you to do. If you're listening to the YouTube version, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. That way you're notified anytime we upload. Also, make sure you get a video a like and comment below the one takeaway that was said that you're like, you know what? That was pretty good. And also, ask any question that you would want to ask Jerry for the next time he comes onto the show. All right. Now, if you're listening to Apple, Spotify, Google, which one of the podcasting platforms you listen to, number one, thank you again. And I wanted to say, yeah, my Siri just went off. That's super weird. But I want to say, make sure you leave a 5-star review. Now, the reason I'm asking you guys to leave a 5-star review is because it helps us move up in the algorithm and it helps other people discover our podcast, okay? Now, the last thing I wanted to ask you guys to do is to check out PrayPlanExecute.shop. Again, that's PrayPlanExecute.shop, and use the code FAM, F-A-M, okay? Use code FAM and check out. That way you can get some and show appreciation to our sponsor, y'all. Now, my genuine words of encouragement, you guys, is a closed mouth don't get fed. You feel me? A lot of y'all are afraid to open your mouths. A lot of y'all are afraid to speak your opinions. A lot of y'all are afraid to use this God-given talent, this God-given voice that you have. And you need to step out of your comfort zone and you need to step into your purpose. And the reason I'm saying that is because by you being silent, there are people being hurt that you've never even met. By you being silent, there are people that you do know who are in your circles that are greatly affected because you won't hold them accountable or because you won't give them the advice that they truly need to move forward. All right. So what I'm asking you guys to do is to open your mouth. All right. Stop keeping it in, open your mouth and share it with those who need it. Okay. Share it with those who need it. Closed mouth don't get fed. Make sure you open that mouth and feed the people. Now, Jay, what are the words of encouragement you got for the people, bro?
The words of encouragement that I want to give out is to tell everybody out there, if there is anything that you want to do, go fail at it. Go and fail often and use those failures as data points to eventually succeed. A lot of the times we see failure as something that is bad or it's a stigma to that word. We've been taught since we were smaller, if you fail a test, is a bad thing. I'm gonna tell you this: if you fail a test, now you've learned. Okay, this is what I missed. This is why I failed. You take that information and you go and pass. You know what I'm saying? Keep failing and fail until you eventually succeed. You won't fail forever. One day, as long as you keep going, you will succeed in life. So that will be my word of encouragement is failure.
Yeah, and y'all heard it here on House of the Fam. Jerry, thank you so much for coming by, bro.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, man. And y'all, fam's all good. Y'all be blessed. Peace.